Hello, today I'll be flipping through and showing you 30 finished prompts from 365 Days of Art by Lorna Scobie, showing you each prompt, the materials I used, and I'll pick out some of my favourites. So welcome back to my channel, Wondera Art. If you're new here, I'm working my way through this art prompt book. I've completed 152 pages already, and I'll link the playlist in the description. And if you're enjoying watching me complete the book, please subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos. Okay, so being completely honest, I'm a little bit behind with this book now. So I'll be focusing on getting the prompts completed by the end of the year and the videos out to you as soon as I can. There'll be some mystery art supply videos as well, as they involve the book and the odd creative video here and there. So prompt 153, colour in the shapes. So I just used those oil pastels that I showed you in the last video. Any supplies I mentioned I will put in the description as well, so you can have a look at them yourself if there's something that you're interested in. Show you these. I said I'd use them again. I've used them a few times. I really like them. Go down really easy, and they weren't that expensive. They're about £9 or something like that. They look a little bit like Easter eggs, I think. 154, continue adding coloured zigzags. So that was a mixture of the coloured pencils, these ones. Yes, these are FABER CASTELL. There we are, GOLDFABER. I just used all the colours I had available, really. And also used NEOCOLOR 2s on this one. And just did a gradient of different colours. 155. Visit a museum or busy train station and draw the people you see passing by. So I wanted to try a looser style on this page and choose a variety of people. I was really looking at coats, bags and hair, and use the NEOCOLOR 2s, but I didn't use the water, I just blended them in together. Used them as crayons or as oil pastels really, and blended them in and made some of my own, like I made that corally colour there, tried to match what the colours of the clothes that people were wearing. To just define it a little bit more, I used this Tombow soft tip brush pen, and just to add a little bit of detail to the hair, to the bags, to the coats. I really want just to focus on those bits, those features really. Very happy with how that one turned out. 156, shading can add depth to your drawings. There are different techniques for shading, including the ones below. Using these 4 different techniques, shade these oranges. So I just followed the prompt on that one. Same supplies, NEOCOLOR 2s and the FABER CASTELL, GOLDFABER pencils. 157, draw the ingredients of your favourite sandwich. So yeah, happy with how these turned out, particularly the ham. Same colouring pencils and that Tombow brush marker for the outlines and the details. 158, so yes, these were some old watercolour paints that I had dried up and I wanted to use them again. As you can see, that's the palette. I think we're getting close to the end. I've got a bit of the orange left. And I don't really like, washing it away because I could use it for art. So just use some of those on this page. And I used a different point line. I used this one, just so I've got a consistent line, 0.05 point liner by Pentel, just for the outlines. If you've watched some of my other videos, you may have seen another page very similar to this in the 5 very easy sketchbook ideas. So I recreated this page in that book. So I did this beforehand. So that's the page that I did in the sketchbook. And this is the page in the 365 Days of Art book. Now, I think the balloons work better in the lighter colours. And just because you can see the shapes more, you can see the outline better. Everything's a bit more clear. But let me know what you think in the comments. I think if I was to try it again in this sketchbook, I would try lighter colours. But these are just a bit too dark. 159. People watching provides great drawing practice and can be done whenever you feel like it. Practice drawing people out and about. Take this book, loose paper or a sketchbook onto a train, cafe or anywhere you can sit and look. Well, I didn't do that at all. I looked online and went from there. Now this page, it did surprise me. I normally like drawing everyday objects really, rather than people. I'm really happy with how they turned out. I was just focusing mainly on the head shape and the features rather than the finer details. And I think they came out great. I use for this, and I use this for mainly all of my drawings, these Bic mechanical pencils rather than a traditional like HB pencil where you've got to sharpen it. I like using these because it's got the eraser and I don't have to worry about sharpening it. It's just this is all I need. Okay, 160, add patterns to the butterflies. Oh yeah, I used these, what are they called? They're called sparkling glitter POSCA pens that I came across not that long ago. And yeah, I just added a little bit to these butterflies on there. Can you see that? You might not be able to. It's a little bit shiny. Yeah. I just tried to come up with those different patterns. I think I like this one the best. 161, calligraphy practice. I think I'm getting better at it now than I did at the beginning. If I can quickly go back, you'll see how bad my calligraphy was. Oh, yeah. I was using the Arteza brush pens, but I found it quite difficult to do. And I think with the Tombow one, got a bit more control. So yeah, I think it's coming along all right. I'm still not 100% with calligraphy, but it's good to have a bit of practice. I suppose that's why it's in the book. 162, fill a page with dads and their children. So yeah, I just used the normal FABER-CASTELL GOLDFABER pencils for that one, and just did the faces on it with a black pen. I think it might have been the Tombow black pen, whatever I had to hand. 163, create your own colour wheel by adding in the colours. The inner layer should show a lighter shade of the outer layer. So yeah, it's same pencils. Some of them had to have, I had to mix the colours together, blend them in to make the shade I was looking for. And mostly on these inner parts, it was just adding white to make it a bit lighter. 164, use each square to experiment with pattern and mark making. So yeah, I wanted to do some really loose patterns on this one, and I used those oil pastels, the ARTECHO one. And then on top, I thought, well, I'll use the pencil basically just to do the outlines. And I think some of them came out all right, quite like that one. Others are just a complete mess, but yeah, it's just having a go and seeing what you can create on this, I think. 165, draw your hand. I actually did an outline of my hand and then just did the shading, and it was a bit bland, so I just thought I'd colour in my fingernails. Looks a bit spooky, that one. Wasn't really what I was going for, but yeah, that's all right. 166, draw the leaves blown off the trees. This was just with the NEOCOLOR 2s. Oh yeah, the colour, the FABER-CASTELL pencils as well. 167, sit by an object. I've chosen a vase of flowers, but choose anything that interests you. Draw it in 4 different ways. First, use a coloured outline, then use blocks of colour, then perhaps try a stylised version, and finally combine all of your drawings into a 4th image. Choose an element you like from each of your 3 initial drawings. So I don't own a Tiffany lamp. I'd love to, but I don't at the moment. Tiffany style lamp. So I looked online for a picture of one and just followed the prompts along as they've suggested there. And really happy with how they came out. I think my favourite is actually the first one with the outline. But yeah, you can see how using different styles, you get completely different versions of the same thing. The same colouring pencils, FABER-CASTELL, and the NEOCOLOR 2s with the water added. 168, complete a 5-minute drawing today, set a timer, choose an object or a simple scene and spend only 5 minutes drawing it. Using a pencil, aim to get as much down as possible. So we had a couple of pages this time where the prompt is to complete a drawing in a time frame. So this is the first one, and I'll just put a video in of how I got on. Okay, so 5 minutes isn't really that much time, but it gets you thinking about what's important in the scene to draw so that the object is recognisable. A bit later on in the video, there's a 30-minute version of this one, so I'll show you that one too. Okay, 169, add patterns to the bowl. So yeah, just using the same colouring pencil, thinking of different patterns to add to them. quite like this one down here and the cow bowl. 170, draw one thing that made you happy today. So yeah, just playing a computer game and using the same style really as I did with the people at the train station. I've done that a few times in his books. I quite like that style. This was, yeah, just colouring pencils again, nothing else. And obviously the Tombow brush pen for the outlines. 171, draw 3 things you ate today from memory. I'm not very happy with this one, must admit. Didn't really turn out as I would like. That one, I like that one so much better. Maybe it's because I haven't got any outlines. I don't know, but yeah. 172, telephone doodle. Call someone up for a chat and doodle away. So yeah, I just completed the stars. Just using the same sort of, same colours really. Greens and blues. 173, fill this quarter with your favourite colour. Yeah, green at the moment. I don't know if anyone else does the same, but I don't tend to have the same favourite colour all the time. And it's green at the moment, but then it might be like a nice deep purple as well at points. So it sort of chops and changes really. But yeah, at the moment it's green. I just tried to use all the greens I had. I even made a green out of felt tips there on the end. I do have, and I have opened them now, some Prismacolors that I bought a while ago. But I used this green, and it's this one here. And then the green in the FABER CASTELL set. Here, it's this one here. So you can tell the difference between the two. That's my favourite colour, this sort of green, this one here. Those. But yeah, I thought I'd give them a go, and you do get quite a lot of coverage on there. So I might try and use these in some of the upcoming pages in the book a little bit more, just to sort of get away from using the FABER CASTELL so much and see how I get on with them. Oh yeah, 174. Find a window in your house where you can sit comfortably and look out, draw what you see. You could focus on one part of the scene, such as a lamppost or a neighbour's door. So I did go with the lamppost idea. The lamppost is behind the hedge. And I used, these aren't that expensive, they weren't when I bought them anyway, these gouache essentials. Can't remember, but I'll link everything in the description. And I quite like using the gouache because you get a bit more, it's not as thick as the acrylic paint, and you can get a bit more definition with things. So yeah, used a few different paint brushes to get the effect of the trees and darker and the yellower parts. And then I used a makeup brush actually, just to get the glow of the light on the background. That was a watercolour background that I put in. 175, shade the apples in different colours. So yeah, using the FABER-CASTELL pencils again. Oh, and the NEOCOLORs. So I did do a couple there. Quite like this one here. 176, calligraphy practice again. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm getting a little bit better at it. Just spending a bit more time understanding where to apply the pressure and then release to get the overall look. 177, design your own fairy twinkle lights. Yeah, so using these sparkly, glittery POSCA pens. Did the outlines in the Tombow brush pen again. 178, write down 5 great things that happened to you today. So the sun was shining, the birds were singing, flowers were in bloom, day was relaxing. And well, it didn't happen to me, but it was quite nice. The cat was just lounging around in the sun. It's nice to see her like that. And I just used some of these STAEDTLER TRIPLUS FINELINERS. So I've had these a while and they still work. Must be a few years actually. Tried to just do a different type of font with these. 179. Here's the second time prompt. Spend 30 minutes drawing, set a timer, choose an object or scene and spend 30 minutes observing and drawing it. Try using colour and look carefully before you draw. As you have a more sustained period of time to draw, you have time to consider where you apply colour and line. And this is how it turned out. So that 30 minutes, it did go quick. I was panicking a bit about how much time I had left, as I didn't want it to be, I didn't want to be in the middle of colouring something or drawing something and then the time ran out. So I did rush a few areas, as you can see, like in terms of the colouring and the shading in. But yeah, here's the finished grandfather clock. Let me know if you've tried timed drawing and what you thought about it. Maybe if I try it again, I won't feel as stressed about how much time I've got left. I don't know. I kept just wanting to look at the clock. 180, this one is very similar to a page I did in 100 Days of Drawing. This is by Jennifer Orkin-Lewis, this book. I'll link it in the description as well if you wanted to watch it. We did have a bit of an accident on the next page which caused the paint to seep through to this one. So I don't know if you can see, it probably can. Luckily, it didn't really affect the houses that I'd already done. So I just covered the background in a white POSCA pen to try and cover it up. 181, draw someone important to you. This is someone in the family. She likes going on the swings, so I thought I'd draw that using the same style as the people at the train station as well, and on a few other pages I did this time. This is the NEOCOLOR 2s without water and the outlines in the brush pen. The background is watercolour. I put a lot of water down, but unfortunately this paper doesn't hold the water very well. It just seeps through rather than staying on the surface. So I probably won't be doing that type of background again because I don't want to wreck the artwork on the page behind it. 182, the same style, same supplies. Draw your favourite pair of shoes. And at the moment, they're my slippers. Like just sitting with my slippers on. So I plan to get part 8 up of this book in the next few weeks as well. Before that, there will be a video using the Scrawler Box Mystery Art Supplies. Thanks to everyone who voted in the poll for that and picked out some page numbers. So that will be the next video on the channel. If you haven't seen the previous videos on this art book, I'll pin a link in the comments for you to have a look. And as always, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you all soon.